What's up, everybody? We have a new product review sent to us today by VisioGear, and these are 4K night vision binoculars. I've never used night vision except for on like smart feeder technology, so this will be really interesting. These binoculars film 4K video in HD, and they take photos and a few other things. So it actually comes in this really secure foam packaging, and I've actually already taken these out. So some of the packaging is missing at this point. Here are the VisioGear night vision binoculars. It comes with this strap, which is actually a pretty comfortable strap. These are the binoculars. So it supports a micro SD card, which goes in this slot here, and I've already got one in there. In fact, one came in the packaging, so that was super nice as well. You'd think that you'd look through these like this, but if you do this, you're gonna blind yourself. You actually look through these here, and there's this screen. I'll turn this on for you. There's the VisioGear screen right there. And you actually look through it, and this knob over here, this is your focus, and this is your infrared beam. So yeah, don't look through these. This is not where you look, but it's pretty cool actually, and I've taken these out already to find some pretty awesome species. So let's take these out into the field and see how they perform, and then I'll come back here and let you know my final thoughts. So these night vision binoculars, there's a few things that you could use them for. They're not thermals, so they're not gonna be the best on trying to find creatures that you aren't aware are there already, because it's not gonna point out, there's not gonna be a red heat signature for owl spotting and stuff like that, but they are beneficial if you know where things are already. A lot of times, for example, waterfowl will stay out on a lake, so they'd be good for scanning the lake at night where the birds won't be disturbed by your presence at all because they're not aware that you're there. Owls, for example, if you know where owls are roosting, it's a good way to get footage or photos of owls without disturbing them by, shining a light. Some people will shine lights on owls to take photos. This is a really non-invasive way of doing that as well, which I really love about a product like this. But I thought it'd be fun if we bring them down to the parrot roost here in Pasadena, California, and we get some media and footage testing out the night vision binoculars on the exotic wild parrot species that live here in California. So in an hour, we'll do that and see what type of media we can gather with these night vision binoculars, and then I'll come back and give you an update.
So I actually filmed a whole bunch of the parrots, but the audio is basically unusable, and here's the reason why. So yeah, I'm going to voice over this experience for you. The California's wild parrots were absolutely stunning, but the sun started to sink on the horizon. It was time to break out the night vision binoculars and see what they could actually do. So there's several modes with the binos. This is the infrared mode, filming in 4K 30 FPS. Looks pretty cool. Obviously with infrared, eyes on things are going to glow. And you can't really tell what color things are, but for most birds you'd find at night this isn't an issue, because you'd be mostly focused on the structure of the bird. The binoculars also take photos, and the quality for something taken in darkness is not bad at all. And let's be for real, my Nikon Z6 III can't take photos in the dark, so this is really cool.
All right, so these parrots are obviously in the dark, and I can't tell what they are. They're just silhouettes. So let's see if the AI enhanced color does a good job showing off the correct colors.
The AI color mode is also amazing. It's incredible that in darkness, the binos are able to pull out any color at all, and most of the time, it's pretty accurate. In this photo, you can clearly see the red forehead of the red-crowned Amazon. And here's a whole tree of red-crowned Amazons. It's almost as if there's a light on them, but in reality, the streetlights were way too far away, and these were completely obscured in darkness. And again, with this Amazon, you can clearly see the colors represented clearly, and it looks so good in the binos. Now, sometimes in very warm light, I think the color balance gets messed up a bit, and the base light looks really purple, and then the Amazons also had like yellow foreheads instead. So it certainly isn't always perfect in some lighting conditions, but most of the time I was able to pull out really great coloration. So just a quick reminder, this is the AI color mode showing the colors of the bird in darkness. And here's the infrared mode where you can clearly see the bird's structure and identify easily things such as owls or ducks. With parrots, they look really similar, so it's a bit harder to distinguish the two without the colors, but it's still really cool. So let's take this back home and talk about our final thoughts on these night vision binoculars.
So all in all, these binoculars are pretty cool. It's something that I'm going to have in my backpack at all times, especially if I'm going birding in the evening time or really early in the morning before the sun comes up. Because my Nikon Z6 III, as great of a camera as it is, that low light situation, once the sun goes down, that's kind of it. You're not gonna get any media, you're not gonna get any photos, that's for sure. Videos are gonna struggle to focus. So to have something like this and not stress about that would be awesome. Now, who is this product for exactly? Honestly, I think it's just for casual hobbyists. If you're someone who wants to really go out and do night birding on a regular basis and you really want something very high quality, these are probably not for you, but those thermals cost thousands of dollars, the ones that I'm talking about. So if you're willing to spend that money, that's a big jump from something that's just around $100 like this. And I think for most people, this is definitely enough to get that night media that you want. The fact that it takes photos, the fact that it takes video. The other thing that's also cool about these is that you don't have to use them at night. You can use them during the day. It does a pretty cool job of capturing media, and it's just like a very convenient way to walk around. Now, these are only 8x zoom, and it is digital zoom. So as you zoom in, the quality is going to drop. Are they going to replace your binoculars? Probably not, just because the picture isn't as clear as just a pair of binoculars, but it is something cool to have in addition to binoculars, to look through, capture media, especially at night. So if you have owls nesting in your yard, or you have birds that you want to see in the dark, for example, this would be an awesome product at a very budget price to be able to do so. I didn't mention that it has a flashlight. Hopefully that's not blinding you. And also there's lighting. There's these LEDs on the top. So if you're in the dark, you'll be able to see these. If you want those off, you just press the on off button and they'll do that. The flashlight also stays constant. So you can have a constant flashlight, which is nice in like emergency situations, especially if you're out owling and you forgot your light for some reason. You do have the different modes here. It's pretty, easy to understand. Zoom in, zoom out. Take a picture, change the mode, or hold it down to turn it off. I think anyone could really use this product. So again, thank you so much to VisioGear for sending these out for review. It's a fun product, and it's something that I'm going to have in my backpack. And again, with something like this, you get exactly what you pay for. This isn't gonna help you find birds at night. I mean, you definitely could if you get lucky, but it's more for those moments where you know where the bird is in the dark and you want to observe it without an invasive light being shined on that creature. And honestly, they would do well for any type of animal as well. If you're on a safari and there's big elephants and stuff out there, you'd be able to utilize something like this to capture media as well. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the VisioGear night vision binoculars. As always, check out the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, so I get commission if you decide you'd like to purchase one of these at no extra charge to you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you all next time on Bright-Eyed Birding.